Welcome to Garbolino Midland Match Back to Basics. Today we're at Woodlands View Fishery in Droitwich, where we'll be fishing worm shallow, and I'll be showing you how we feed it, how we prepare it, and the 3 rigs I use to catch the fish. Right, rigs I'll be using today: fighter elastic, 8 to 10, light, but you get your fish out. Might take a bit longer, but every fish counts. Garbolino inline dibber. This rig has got 3 number 10s down the line, which is a slow fall when the fish are being a bit weary or they're being a bit naughty. They won't feed. The line's 0.16, 0.14 hook length to 16 hook. This rig is exactly the same elastic, 8 to 10. Exactly the same float, Garbo inline, but I've got a bulk half depth. So if I'm having it positive, bang, you'll get a positive bite. And the last rig I'm using today, on the margin power 1-piece top kit, it's 0.18 mainline, an 0.16 hook length, 14 hook, using a jigger, and that's 5 number 9 shot as the bulk. Right, bait preparation. With worm, if you're fishing worm shallow, you don't want big chunks of worm because they will get to the bottom and the fish will follow them down. I'm trying to catch the fish in the top layers of the water, so I use the Garbolino worm chopper, which whizzes it up really fine. No effort. Put your worms in, pull up, it'll get it super fine, which is what I'm after. I want the bait to stay in the top layers. This is the consistency you want. You want it like liquid. Also, on venues where you've got to wash your worm, you can't leave the peat in. We developed a liquid with ABC baits, GP365 original, which is a liquid which colours the water, replaces the peat, if you like, what we used to do, and that clouds and stays in the upper layers. I add that to the worm neat, and then put water in and get it to that consistency. As you can see, it makes a right cloud, which the fish love. One of the tips: keep a tub of water on your tray, so every time you feed, you can wash your hands. Otherwise, you'll end up with the top 4 sections of your pole unfishable. Casters I use with it. I'll put, depending on what we're catching, I'll put a good amount of casters in, and you can crush them as well in with this, like this, so they stay in the top, they float as well, which keeps the fish up. I will take the caster out the mix if I'm getting bitted out, roached out, if there's a big head of roach. But if you keep the feed going in, they will go. The carp will push them out the road after a bit. Just your normal worms here, is your tub. Dendrobenus. And that's basically it for the bait. Right, I'm going to kick off the swim. I'll put in a pot, quarter of a pot of liquid worm in. I always do this because it always brings fish in. About that much. Should get a cloud in the water, which will bring the fish immediately to the peg if I'm there. Level it up with the pallet opposite. It makes a lovely cloud look, as you can see, which is what we want. Because if the fish start feeding in that, they're confident and they'll stay there. Right, I'm starting off with my spread rig just to see what happens, see what the fish are doing. I'm fishing tender being head on the hook, bury the hook into it with a cut bit at the bottom so all the juices are coming out the bottom. Wash your hands. Otherwise, you won't be able to ship out after a bit. See if anything come over the bait. Thing with worm and caster is you'll catch everything. And just lower it through the cloud if we get a reaction. In the pot. There we go. It's a roach. They're all welcome. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try the bulk rig. See if I can get this bait through them small fish. Same again. Head of a worm. Pot. See what this does. Still a roach. Ducky need to disappear. Still roach. What I normally do, if I'm getting bothered by a roach, is I'll cut some more worm up and feed half a pot of neat worm, as the casters are obviously attracting the roach, seeing it falling through the water. That usually does the trick. I'll just try it one more time before I do that. Oh, there we go. Just putting that bulk on and getting it through the small fish. And we've got an F1. We're just sitting below the roach. I always do on this venue. A lot of people will fish worm, fish it for 15 minutes, have a dozen small roach and say there's no carp in the peg, which is not true. The carp will sit behind the roach until they decide to have a feed. Yeah, beautiful F1. Isn't the fish we want? At the end of the day, if you're catching silvers, one a chuck, and the decent fish, nobody's catching the carp, because there will be periods in the match when you're not catching. They can be the difference between winning and losing. These roach are ravenous. Where are these in the silver leagues? These beautiful fish. This is just as effective doing this method. Down your edges, exactly the same. Oh. And you catch everything. Beautiful rod. The colours of that. Thing is about worming caster, this method, it catches everything. Everything that swims, you'll catch. So you can have a fantastic day's fishing with half a kilo of worm, 2 pints of casters. I know it's fell out of favour the last few years, worm and caster fishing, because of the price, and that's understandable. It's a lot of money. But you will always have a good day's fishing. And the cob will catch the cob, they will move in. Sometimes they're there right away. Sometimes you have to keep putting the bait in. They will come, and you'll know when they're there because I just push the roach away. You'll stop catching the roach. There we go. I'm using the Garbolino UK one today. Lovely stiff pole, especially at 16 metres. If you do a lot of long fishing, nice and light, super stiff. These F1s fight like Billio. A lovely fish. Another beautiful F1. These are what we're trying to catch. And these are sitting just below them roach, taking the bits until they decide to bully the roach out the road and the other silvers. They'll just sit below, taking bits. Right, I've started with the spread shotting rig. Had a few fish, but was getting pestered by the silvers. I then moved to the bulk rig to try and get through them. Had a couple of decent F1s, which seemed to be working. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try the jigger with a bigger bulk, about 6 inches deeper than these two rigs, just to see if there's any F1s, bigger carp sitting below the silvers. They're off. Still catching the roach. It's part of the fun, if you like, fishing worm, shallow. Working out what depth the fish are feeding at. Some days it do your head in. Other days you can just get it right away. Fish are feeding. And I love it. Empty. Other days they're more finicky, up and down, all over the place. Just the learning process. The more you do it, the more you'll see, you'll realise and work out quicker what's happening. Anyway. Still catching roach and rudd. Beautiful fish. Absolutely beautiful. Pleasure to catch. What I didn't mention was you can put dead reds in the mix. Chop them up in with a worm. And you can fish bunches of dead red on the hook, which sometimes works when you're on fisheries that have responded to maggot. And it's a change of hook bait, which is all that's needed half the time. Here we go. That's a better F1 or a carp. As you can see, it's varied. You're catching everything and you're keeping busy, which is what we want. Another nice F1. I lost the kit then. Isn't what you want to catch. Bite builders. And later on you'll find the bigger carp will turn up. And then you can put some big bites together with this. Again, Don't forget to swirl your hands. Oh, wind. There we go, another F1. The heavier bulk seems to be getting through the silvers. Giving the F1's chance. There's a sitting just below. Another nice F1. This venue's changed over the years. It was predominantly big carp. Now there's a lot more F1s. And you can target these fish on matches in the big weights. And you're hooked again. That's the head. Swirl your hand. Same process. You can see the fish feeds in there on that line. Lovely cloud for the fish to go into. There we go. Lovely. You get the fish feeding in this, and they get confident to be fantastic day fishes. You're busy, and as well as catching all the species in the lake, you'll end up catching some nice carp as well. It's another nice F1. Beautiful fish in Woodlands. Beautiful fish. You can get them feeding and the big carp below them move in late. You can do match winning weights for fish. It's in a simple method which has gone out of vogue lately. Right, let's try this again. Cloud this liquid mix. It's perfect. There we go. Weaving his way through the ducks. Thing with this method, lost it. You don't have to slap using worm. Keep slapping your bait in. You can just feed it through the cloud. Just lower your rigging through the cloud. You're using a jigger. Same thing. You just got to avoid the little ducks. Oh. In with the cloud. Out of it. There we go. Another roach. I need to put more worm in. Try and move them along. Beautiful condition fish. Beautiful. Who wouldn't want to catch them? I hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Back to Basics. A few things I've showed you my rigs. I hope you can pick a few tips up or ideas when you're pleasure fishing or in your match fishing. Liquid GP365, you can get this from Angling Bait Company or online. If you look it up, you'll see it. Put this in with it. Works. Genuinely works. Not just a gimmick. Also with your worm, chopping your worm up, make it easier. The Garbo worm chopper, available from Garbolino stockists, makes it so much easier. Just put your worms in there. A few pulls of that, done. Rig wise, same thing. I think I catch better stamper fish with the bulk, getting that rig right down through the top layers of rudd and silvers. The jig is the same with the bulk, getting it through. I'll catch better fish, had some nice fish. But the method, you catch everything, that's what it's about. And you'll enjoy it. If you pleasure fish it, you'll catch everything in front of you. That's the difference. If you're pellet fishing or maggot fishing, that won't happen. If you like what you've seen the videos, subscribe to our channel, and hope to see you next time.